Well, welcome to the Oklahoma furnace. It is hot out here, and between the heat and the Postal Service and the holiday, I'm a little behind schedule, but I will give you the rundown. I've made this nice pattern, and now I'm going to cut this pattern out of 1/8 inch aluminum. Then I'm going to wrap the outside in 1/8 inch aluminum as I take the welder to it and curve it around, and on this side as well. Now the aluminum, instead of being on the outside edge here, was going to be on the bottom underneath this edge, and that's for the reason to space this up so as it rotates in and out it doesn't drag the blades. The other thing I'm still waiting on is a 1/2 inch piece of hex stock. Well, actually not a 1/2 inch piece of hex stock, a 1/2 inch Allen wrench. They wanted $15 to ship me a 12 inch piece of hex. And I said, nah, I ain't playing with that when I can get a half inch Allen wrench for $9. So, and I get enough to make two. I'm going to make one for me and one to put on eBay, because a lot of these little jointers are missing this piece, and this will be probably a little nicer than the one that came off. So as far as this end goes, I'm going to turn the end of this round as it sticks out and put a washer on the end and weld it from the bottom side, and then run 6 little 440 cap screws to hold it. It should look nice. It should be eye-pleasing, basically. Shouldn't be ugly. I'm not building ugly here. But I just thought I'd keep you up with what's going on. Also, in the next installment, I will be putting in the motor and fabricating the motor mount. Like I say, between the heat and the post office, I haven't got nothing in on time. I'm a little behind schedule this week, so hey, life gets in the way, and apparently so is the 4th of July. And that be that. Plus, I have a CNC project on the bench, which I will be doing video on. It's going out to a gentleman in Oregon when I'm done. He bought an old CNC machine, an old router, built 10 years ago. He bought it off of Facebook. And when he got it home, the guy it didn't work, so he called the guy, and the guy blocked him, so he has no idea what's going on with it. He sent it from Oregon to me out here in Oklahoma because a friend of mine said, hey, I know a guy, and I'm the guy. So it is what it is, and I will be upgrading it for USB and to run on a laptop instead of what he's got going on it. So I will have that in sections as it gets done. I will be doing some interesting things with that as far as the spindle speed control. We're not going to use the regular old hardware hookup through the outside. We're going to use the RS 458 port and run it that way. And it's a lot easier to do that way, and I'll show you how it's done. I'm also going to be packaging some kits so you can do it yourself and not have to worry that you got everything and that everything is right. Well, I got a job in off the street, well, actually from a friend, and a friend of his has a CNC that was built a number of years ago that they bought on Facebook Marketplace, and it was working when they went to see it, and once they got it home, it stopped working. It never worked when they got it home. So now I'm unboxing the pieces, seeing what we have. I had them send me one stepper motor because I didn't want the whole machine. I just wanted to confirm that, yeah, the stepper works, because no stepper moves, not one. And they say not one change has been made. The same computer was running this thing when they went to look at it is when they brought it home. So I'll check the wiring on this. I don't need this unwrapped just yet, but this is a 2.2 kilowatt spindle motor, water cooled. Nice. Mine isn't even water cooled. we'll get to that later. The wiring for that spindle motor. The book for the VFD and an addendum, I guess, to some part of it. I looks. Oh yeah, it goes to the Hunyang DVD, and it shows the mapping for the wiring, proper rotation. But you could put those anyway and just switch to, and she'd rotate right. So green's on the ground anyway. I do believe on this. And the part we will never use again, because we're switching this over from a line printer port. Holy moly. They're mating, holy cow. To a USB, so we will not use this. This will be returned as is. And this is a national embarrassment. Running the 2 power supplies and everything else off this, I wouldn't do that. I mean, you can tell that these are mighty thin. I don't care that the power draw might not heat this up, but an old computer cable, come on, for 220. I'll at least give it a nice piece of 220, a line rated for 220, and make it a nice terminal inside the box. That's just shameful. We will fix that. I'll give him the same plug if he wants the same plug back, or give him the opportunity to switch to whatever plug he's using in his shop, but this is the way it came. Maybe he's got this plug, I don't know. I'll have to ask him about that when I go back together. The other box I have not opened yet, and the reason I haven't opened it is I've ordered parts to go in it, and the parts to go in it haven't gotten here yet. I ordered a new breakout box, a 4-axis. I have some parts, but not all the parts. It's going to wind up with 2 USB connections, one for the motor and one for the motion. So it's going to have one for the VFD and one for the 3-axis. I'm using the RS458 port for motor control, which eliminates the need for a relay. Everything's done inside the VFD. It's a nice, clean way to go. And that's what I'm doing in here. This thing embarrasses me. I have some NEMA 34 motors, but not with a shaft that big. That is respectable. I gotta see what the torque is for that thing. Why it needs a shaft that big. That's just crazy. I'm still using NEMA 23s on my big router with the same size spindle motor. But overkill is always nice. And later on, when I get the other piece unwrapped and the pieces here to go inside it, then we'll unbox that. But right now, it'd just be in the way in the shop. And I ordered the breakout board from one vendor, and he waited a week to tell me he didn't have it. So and he had a good price, but yeah, I guess you can offer a really good price if you're not going to ship one. So I ordered one from another vendor, U.S. vendor, because I do want it in a reasonable amount of time, and that cost me $35, and it's well worth it if he can get here in time, in a decent amount of time. Yeah, I may import some and have them on the shelf as kits with the RS 458 setup ready to go, and the only thing you'd have to do is program your VFD to match it and put it in your machine for Mach 3. Yeah, that's about it for this. This is today's. We're just looking to see what we got. Not a whole lot.